Kia ora, a fairly unsettled spell of weather as we run in towards Easter. Some windy, wet weather pushing in towards the South Island and some cold temperatures set to make their way across New Zealand as we head through the next few days. We start off though looking at the weather first thing on Wednesday. Heavy rainfall, perhaps even some rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning, some pretty strong gusty thunderstorms running towards that western coast as we go through the morning time on Wednesday. And ahead of these fronts, strong winds in towards the Canterbury High Country. And as this low pressure wraps up around the Dunedin and Clutha coast, those strong southwesterly winds through there and even up towards, say, Banks Peninsula by the end of the day. So it is a fairly unsettled start to Wednesday morning. We are going to find those winds picking up, perhaps reaching severe gale force in the most exposed parts of Canterbury High Country as we go through the morning time on Wednesday. And as those winds turn from a northwesterly to more of a southwesterly, we'll find them picking up through parts of, say, Dunedin and the Clutha coastline as well. So we have got a watch there as well, 5 a.m. till 10 a.m. on Wednesday. A pretty unsettled, windy old morning, making it feel a fair bit cooler as well. It's not just the wet weather, windy weather, we've also got wet weather with some heavy thunderstorms moving on towards that western coast as well. We could find some bursts of heavy rain in Fiordland and Westland as this front moves northwards. But the heaviest rainfall in amongst those thunderstorms will be around the ranges of Western in the early hours of the morning during Wednesday as well, 1 a.m. till 8 a.m. on Wednesday. Keep an eye on those severe weather watches and warnings. You can find all of those on the Met Service website. As we head through the rest of the day on Wednesday, you can see this wet weather continues to make its way northwards, improving story down towards the south. Those strong southerly winds in towards Cook Strait, bringing a fair change in our temperatures through parts of Canterbury. And you can see as it moves up towards the North Island, a few showers in towards parts of Wairarapa as well. For the North Island, a bit of an east-west split once again, with more cloud and showers on those western-facing parts of the island, on out towards places like Hawke's Bay and up in towards Tairafti. Things generally are drier and brighter and warmer as well. Let's start off with a look at the North Island. You can see we've got those showers pushing on towards that western side, perhaps making their way as far south as, say, Upper Hutt, but I think probably staying away from Wellington City. As this next feature runs in towards us, we'll just see them picking up a touch. There could be one or two heavy, perhaps thundery ones, just pushing across those central areas. As this feature runs across the Bear Plenty, we'll find a brief spell of showers through there as well, but they'll clear off pretty quickly. For places like Auckland, we'll find the dry weather will be in the morning time. More showers are likely through the afternoon, especially around that middle part of the afternoon as that feature runs through. But again, we'll find they become much more isolated by the end of the day. For the drier weather, head towards that eastern side. Places like Hawke's Bay and Gisborne generally staying dry through daytime, but we are going to find areas of high cloud. We're also going to find the warmest temperatures here. Highs here around about 27 degrees Celsius in Napier, out towards places like Auckland, 23 degrees Celsius. And you'll notice our nighttime temperatures, still nothing too cold. However, that will change as we head through this week. So do keep a very close eye on those temperatures. We've got some cool nights coming up as we head through Thursday and Friday. Down on the South Island, well, we start off with that wet, windy and thundery weather on the western coast. It is moving away towards the north. You can see that rain makes its way across in towards the Canterbury High Country and the plains as well. That southerly change running through Christchurch, probably around about lunchtime, and then things are going to improve. So we'll find some better, brighter weather behind that. But you can see down on that western coast, the best of the weather, it will be later in the day. We'll get some clearer skies and some sunshine. Even through Canterbury, the cloud will break up and we'll find some clearer skies returning as we head towards the end of the afternoon. But do watch out for a fairly wild start, especially on that western coast with some thunderstorms not out of the question. They'll bring some squally winds as well. As we head through the daytime, we'll find our temperatures changing. Now, like I say, that southerly change arriving in towards Christchurch probably around about lunchtime, which is probably when you're going to find the highest temperatures of the day as well. Highs here around about 21 degrees Celsius in Christchurch. To the south, we've had that cold air longer. So we'll find places like Invercargill and Dunedin struggling to get around about 12 or 13 degrees Celsius. And we've got that watch out for those winds as well through Dunedin. So the combination of those cold temperatures and those stronger winds will mean some pretty cold feeling temperatures. The other thing to watch out for, perhaps even a little bit of snowfall about the top of the Crown Range Road in the morning time as this front runs through. But a chilly old start, and you can see our nighttime temperatures back down to single figures for many of us. And we're going to find those dropping away a touch more over the next few nights as well. Looking ahead into Thursday, we will find a fairly good southwesterly feed of air pretty much across the country. We'll keep hold of those showers on the western coast and down in the south, and you can see those flecks of white, some snowfall perhaps down as low as about 500 or 600 metres through some of the coldest parts in the parts of Southland and Otago. On the north side, again, the further north you are, the better chance of avoiding the showers, but I think for central high country areas we'll catch some of those showers, and that cold air is making its way northwards as well. So do watch out for some chilly nights. As we head on in towards the Easter weekend, we'll be watching an area of low pressure forming off that northeastern corner of the country, and that will wrap some wetter weather back on towards those eastern areas. Some of the better places to be through the Easter weekend, down that western coast of the Southland, looking pretty decent. But this low pressure you can see up in the north as we go through Friday and Saturday. We'll be bringing some more unsettled weather up into places like Tairafti and around those coastal parts of Auckland and North, and some stronger winds wrapping that around that low pressure. Some heavier rainfall not out of the question in towards those eastern areas as well. So it is looking like a pretty unsettled story. Stronger winds and heavier rainfall pushing in towards those eastern parts of the Northland as we go through the Easter weekend. As always, the team will be here keeping you updated with all the latest forecasts, so don't forget to keep a close eye on that. But some of the better weather for the Easter weekend down in the Southland, but even here we'll keep hold of those cold temperatures. That's it from me. This is from metservice.com.